The first time that I heard the term nutrient collapse was when I was a teen, and it shocked me to my core. The idea that I could eat the same diet as someone from a previous generation and get less nutrients from it seemed outrageous and unfair. We have so many industrial food issues negatively impacting what we get in our diets today, but are we really looking at a nutrient collapse, or will our food get better in the future? Today on Future Unfolded, we will look into what a nutrient collapse is, what we can do to stop it from happening, and the recent advancements in food, including what you might eat someday on Mars. The idea of a nutrient collapse comes from studies that were done that showed that the increasing carbon dioxide in our atmosphere was actually reducing protein, calcium, magnesium, potassium, zinc, and iron in plants. Imagine tomatoes that are larger and sweeter, but have up to 20% less magnesium, iron, and zinc. Typically, this drop is around 8% of their mineral content and as high as 38% for riboflavin since the 1950s. Lower nutrient diets can lead to health issues like increases in macular degeneration, Alzheimer's disease, obesity, and diabetes. These nutrient reductions can mean a big difference in long-term health effects, and this doesn't just affect humans, but animals as well. For example, cows that graze on grasslands. Ecologist Jay Angerer analyzed cow patties and collected over 36,000 measurements over 22 years to find that the concentration of crude protein in the samples dropped by almost 10%, which could cause them to be smaller overall and experience a drop in reproduction rates. This change isn't just happening on land, but also in the ocean, where algae is being impacted and growing what could be called junk food algae, with a sugar to nutrient ratio that could see many species around the world not getting what they need to grow healthy. Moving back to the more than 8 billion people on this planet, many of whom eat rice as their primary calorie source, we see that it's not just increasing carbon dioxide reducing nutrition of the staple food source, but also how we're choosing which crops to plant and what genes to select for. We've often been focused on more yield than nutrients, causing a further decline in how healthy our food actually is. Currently, our industrial farming system doesn't seem to focus on the quality of what's being grown, as that isn't the primary metric for getting compensated. I feel like one of the easy changes we could push for as a society is to provide subsidies and bonuses for food with more nutrients rather than more surface level expectations like weight, moisture content, or visual appeal. When you think about your favorite fruits and vegetables, many of them have likely been manipulated over time through various processes. Some more well-known examples are corn and watermelons, which used to look very different from today. Scientists are continuing this process, and some examples of that work include increasing more carotenoids in sweet corn and chili peppers, as it's known to delay the onset of age-related macular degeneration and slowing the onset of Alzheimer's. Another important change is that researchers in Louisiana are working to lower the glycemic index of rice while increasing its protein, an important change to hopefully decrease diabetes and obesity. So as we move forward on our journey to create nutritional food for everyone, we will have to adjust our foods again, but instead of taking decades or centuries to make the changes we require, thanks to genetic engineering technology, we can also create more nutritious foods faster. As technology for genome sequencing has gotten faster, we're learning more and more about how to change plants, which could lead to a future of better food, not just reversing the trends of a reduction of nutrition, but improving flavors or adding additional health benefits. Kale is a leafy superfood that many people find bitter, and children don't typically like bitter veggies, and instead lean towards the more bland iceberg lettuce, which has almost no real nutrition. What if we could make kale taste better? Food startup Pairwise launched their Purple Power Baby Greens blend in May of this year. It includes genome-edited purple and green mustard greens that were edited to be less bitter and taste more like lettuce. Much like kale, mustard greens have a higher nutritional content. Pairwise's mustard greens were edited to reduce their bitter taste using CRISPR. CRISPR is a genome editing technology that has been around since 1987 and uses the enzyme Cas9 to act like a pair of scissors on a strand of DNA at a targeted location, allowing for easy manipulation. Our knowledge of how to apply CRISPR technology continues to improve by leaps and bounds. There has long been fear that this technology would have a negative impact on people, but most soybeans and corn grown in the US are from genetically modified organisms and have been for decades. So while people have and continue to avoid GMO food products, it may become more difficult in the near future as more key crops are engineered for various purposes. One change you'll start seeing more of is the idea of gene-edited or engineered plants, animals, or microorganisms rather than the GMO label. The primary difference often being that things labeled as being gene-edited had their genes directly edited, where GMOs were typically edited using transgenic techniques of transferring DNA sequences between unrelated species. Gene editing is more targeted, more surgical. It will allow scientists to select specific changes and leave fewer things to chance. Gene editing has moved to the last step in Canada's approval process, which could make gene editing legal here as early as this fall. On the human side, we're using genome sequencing technology to better understand our gut microbiomes so that we can potentially tailor food products and supplements to meet specific nutritional or health requirements. In the last few years, we've come to better understand that a healthy gut microbiome can help prevent, reduce, or even reverse some chronic diseases like diabetes, COPD, arthritis, and IBD. So not only can we improve the nutrition in our food, but we can also give our unique and individual bodies exactly what they need to be at their healthiest. Circling back to rice, recently researchers at the University of Arkansas created gene-edited rice that could potentially grow on Mars, proving that no matter how difficult the soil conditions, with the right technology, we could grow food anywhere. I just want us to focus on making sure it is healthy and nutritious, rather than just robust and plentiful. What do you think? Do you avoid GMOs? What are your thoughts on selectively changing the genes of plants, animals, and microorganisms? If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps this channel so I can create more videos like this. And if you're looking for more about the future of food, check out my video on saving the world with bamboo, algae, seaweed, and hemp.